The threads of the seductive middle-class prosperity narrative have been slowly unraveling, captured in near real time by a graph that I will link that maps the cosmic gap between the rich and the poor and the increasingly non-existent middle class in between. The income of the top 0.1% has grown by 382% since 1976, when adjusted for inflation, which is an average income of $7.5 million per year, while the income of the bottom 50% has grown by just 32%, an average income of $19,800 per year. This means that for every American earning an annual multi-million-dollar income, there are 50 Americans surviving on less than $20,000 per year. To crack the top 10% in this country, you have to earn more than $400,000 per year, but most of us exist in the shrinking middle class, the middle 40% of Americans earning an average of $92,000 per year. This is a quote from Malcolm's book. He says, "Every bit of this so-called progress has made employees both desperately productive and productively desperate, while the profits from their labor accrue to a shrinking ownership class. From this perspective, all that work in childhood seems motivated more by fear of a lousy future than by hope for dignity, security, and leisure time." And it's true. In a lot of ways, we are becoming desperate. We are all looking for the home run because a series of base hits does not feel like it's enough anymore. We would rather go broke trying to create an app than work our way up in a corporate food chain with wages that have proven to be more or less stagnant since the 70s. Now, this isn't to say that you need to be a top 1% earner to be happy with your life, and it's not even worth posing a question about fairness or equality, because anyone who can read a graph can see that there's nothing fair or equal about the way things are continuing to shake out. And the funny thing is that most extremely wealthy people know it and readily admit it, as Bezos has admitted in the past that those critical of billionaires who are using their wealth to go to space are mostly right in their criticism. And I'll link the article. I believe I can fly. Oddly enough, the defenders of the status quo, at least the ones that I encounter, and those who deny that the current state of affairs is unsustainable or uniquely hurting the millennials who inherited said state of affairs, are often the ones found in the middle 40% group, those clinging to their positions in the middle class and aspiring to the unimaginable fortune of the 1%, embracing the American dream all the more desperately as their wages stagnate and health insurance costs rise, that if they can just work a little bit harder, they'll be ushered into the ownership class themselves. And hey, for some people, it works. And for most everyone else, it doesn't. The American dream on profit-driven uppers is heading toward a cliff, and millennials may be the ones forced behind the wheel. Here's Harris again. "We didn't happen by accident. Over the past 40 years, we have witnessed an accelerated and historically unprecedented pace of change as capitalism emerged as the single dominant mode of organizing society. It's a system based on speed, and the speed is always increasing. Lately, the system has started to hyperventilate. It's desperate to find anything that hasn't yet been re-engineered to maximize profit, and then it makes those changes as quickly as possible. The rate of change is visibly unsustainable. The profiteers call this process disruption, while commentators on the left generally call it neoliberalism or late capitalism. Millennials know it better as the world, or America, or everything.